we discussed on the pregame show, 2016 NFL Draft, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, they're always going to be compared and kind of coupled together in these conversations. Tonight, Dak was clearly better, and he had some beat-up tackles up there on his line, but Carson Wentz looked out of place, just in disarray all night long. So the quarterback play, any thoughts?
Our defensive line, for the first time this year, I think, our defensive line got pressure. Yeah. And when they bring pressure, no matter who the quarterback is, they're going to make them very uncomfortable. They rushed him at a couple of times. His receivers weren't coming up with the big plays enough for him. So, hey, he looked harried a little bit.
Yeah, I think that you talk about a guy like when you look at Lawrence and, a lot of talk, Doug Peterson came out and said what he did. And then Tank Lawrence came out and he, said what he did. And he was clearly fired up by the opportunity to go against Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson had his number. I thought the pressure was going to come more on the other side with Robert Quinn, and it was. We need to check and see what happened with Robert Quinn's rib injury. They do have the bye week, but yeah, a couple of injuries that the Cowboys sustained this game. Van Der Esch and Quinn, two big parts of their defense.
All right, let's go out to AT&T Stadium and check in with Nick Eatman and Rob Phillips for the first word from the sidelines. Guys?
Thanks, Lindsay. Fans go home happy here at AT&T Stadium. Pre-game losing streak going. Give me your impressions. I know basically what you told me just now, it's not rocket science what happened here for the Cowboys.
No, I mean, when you get your players matter, Jason Garrett always says the players matter, the starters matter, Pro Bowlers, get those guys back. They played well, and then you get turnovers on top of it. We always say turnovers come in bunches. They did 4 turnovers in this game. I mean, there was a playoff-like atmosphere, Rob, and we said that before the game, but the Cowboys matched it. They got turnovers and took advantage of it. Great win for them, really was.
The other thing, too, you're right. I think that's the most complete win they've had of the 4 wins. Also, you see what this offense can do when they have a lead. You're seeing all the balance that they talk about. Tony Pollard getting more involved tonight. We saw more of the play action, more of the RPO stuff. All the things that they can do, it's more effective with Zeke as well when they have something to play with at least.
Yeah, and they didn't have that last week, obviously. Just Cooper out there, just Cobb, those guys. I thought, though, just by watching it one time, I thought Ezekiel Elliott ran really hard. I mean, he found lanes and he pushed the pile. He did an outstanding job in that game. But then, the defense, though, was amazing as well. D-Law, he talks the talk, then he walks it as well. You love this guy because he's not afraid to say what he wants to say, and he goes out and plays well.
Yeah, Jalen Smith set the tone as well early on, played really physical tonight. And I think you saw some of the depth show up, too.
Yeah.
With Jordan Lewis playing corner, Kerry Hyder on the defensive line. We're going to have to see about these injuries, though, to Robert Quinn and Lane Johnson.
Well, I'll say this. There's no team in the league that needs a bye more than the Dallas Cowboys, and they're getting one now, and they're going to get one on a hot streak with winning this big game.
All right, thanks, Nick. Lindsay, back to you guys in the crew.
Sounds like a rowdy scene out there at AT&T Stadium. We talked all week long about, we've talked for 3 weeks now about the Cowboys needing more fast starts. And I think you think about the offense, but it was the defense that provided those fast starts today. They got those turnovers. They jumped in. They made huge plays. And the offense was able to capitalize off of it.
Well, this is our 7th game. It's the first time we've had the ball through turnover on the side of the opponents, inside the opponent's 50. And that came up big. Like I said before, Jordan Lewis with his time to sack. D-Law answering the call of what Coach Peterson had to say. This, you look right there on that final stats, Bryce, it tells it all, brother.
It sure does. The third down stuff. The tip of the cap this week, though, to Britt Brown and the medical staff for getting all those guys ready to play football this week. That was going to be an issue. And, I thought that if the Cowboys played without those guys, that Philadelphia probably would win this football game. But tip of the cap to the players for coming out on Wednesday, kind of getting through some things, practicing on Friday. Britt Brown, Jim Maurer, those guys. You guys deserve to win the football game this week by the way you practiced and got those kids ready to play.
Amari Cooper, 100-yard game, along with Ezekiel Elliott on the ground, 100-yard game. Who was your MVP of the night, guys?
You know what?
We're coming right off the game here. I know you haven't had a chance to
think. Tell you what, though, I got to see what Connor Williams was able to do because I had a feeling Fletcher Cox was not a factor in this game. And so, we talked about in the pregame, Linz, Would it be Zach Martin? Would it be Connor Williams? Would also Travis Frederick. But give this Cowboy offensive line some credit. They were able to run the ball. Yeah, the 3 sacks are a couple of them. I think Dak was holding on to the football. We'll watch the tape tonight when this is all over and figure it out. But I kind of feel like, though, that this offensive line played against a Philadelphia front that had not given up much yardage rushing and got nothing really. Other than those sacks, though, a couple maybe on Dak. We need to figure that out, though.
I'm sticking with DeMarcus Lawrence. He answered the bell. He's getting pressure from not only us in the media, he got it from all around. His team was waiting on him to answer the bell. He told her, hey, coach, you don't play. I'll show you what the players play. And he went out and did what he had to do with a strip sack. And I ain't going to never forget Jordan Lewis. I think he deserved more playing time. He's a sure tackler. He just need to work a little bit more, getting reps so his coverage can become better and better.
Yeah,
all right, guys, we have much more coming up for you on Cowboys Game Night starting at 11 p.m. Everybody already gathered around the locker room, and Jerry Jones down there right in the middle of all of them. We will be back at 11 o'clock Central for much more here from the Star in Frisco.